I got a thumbs up there. It is 12:59. We're about to start. Exercise class. This is chair exercises. Chair exercises today. Everyone ready to go? Well, I'll start out by letting you know that anything that I ask you to do today that you don't think you can do, don't do it. If you don't think you should do it, or a doctor said don't do that, don't do it. Or if today you just don't feel like doing something, you can opt out of anything that I ask you to do. If you want something to be easier or harder, I sometimes will show you that. Follow along as best you can. If I'm asking people to do something and you just can't, that's all right. Also, exercise every day. Do something every day, as much as you can, each and every day. And water. That's the third thing I want to let you know. You got to have water with you all the time. Stay hydrated. Keep water handy. All right, we're going to start with some stretching. You can see me here on the main camera. You can also see the side view over here. That's so you can see the feet and the exercises we do down there. All right, my name's Jan. I'm very happy to be here today with Primeplus. We're going to start with our hands down to the side. Shake it out. Here we go. We're going to raise our hands above our head, and the back of your hands are going to touch each other all the way up. Your best pain-free range of motion. Bring it all the way back down. Good. Let's do that a second time. Arms all the way up. Touch the back of the hands together and all the way back down. We're going to go one more time, but this time turn your hands so that your palms go first. Palms go up first. Touch them together. Keep your palms facing up as you bring your arms back down. Good. That's a good stretch. Now we're going to take our arms forward and over our head. So out in front of you, and raise your arms up as high as you can, way over your head, and bring them back down. Let's do that one more time. Stretch up, sit up nice and tall, and back down. Good. Now hold your hands right up here. We're going to do some wrist circles. You've done the shoulder circles probably. These are wrist circles. We're going to go around this way. And then we're going to return and go the other way. Your best range of motion. Everyone's different. Don't compare how your wrist works compared to my wrist. Just do the best that you can. Good. All right. Rest your hands. You're sitting a little bit forward, I hope, so you're not touching the back of your chair. If not, scoot up some so you're sitting nice and tall. We're going to reach for that TV remote. Every time you sit down, the TV remote's just out of reach, except that's the way it is when I do it. So we're going to reach. First with this hand, we're going to reach and lean, grab that TV remote and bring it back to your lap. Next time you sit down, it's on the other side. Reach and lean, grab that TV remote, bring it back to your lap. Let's reach this way and bring it back. And we'll reach this way and bring it back. Back and forth 2 more times. Here and reach there. Good. Reach here. Last time, reach. All right, and relax. Next, we're going to cross our leg or cross our foot, depending on your ability, and we're going to stretch our hips out. The more flexible your hips are and the more stretched out they are, the better it is, the easier it is for you to stand and sit. So if you can get your ankle up onto the opposite knee, you're going to look something like this. But if you just can't do that, not everyone can, you're going to take your foot, look in camera 2, foot, and just rest it sideways on the other foot. And that does kind of the same thing as your knee goes to the side, same as with your ankle up on your knee. And we'll just put a little pressure there and sit up nice and tall. So this is the version where my foot is on my other foot. All right, relax there. We're going to switch to the other foot and either do it the same way that we just did with your foot on top of your other foot, or if you did it with your ankle up on your opposite knee, do it that way. One of the 2 ways. If you're doing it up on your knee, sit up nice and tall and just rest your hand on your knee there. Should feel that stretch right up in here somewhere. Maybe under the leg if that's where it's tightest on you. All right, put that foot back down on the floor. Okay, scoot back on your chair. You can lean up against the back of it for the moment, as long as you're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do leg lifts, leg raises. We're going to raise that out in front of you, and then switch and raise the other one out in front of you. Point your toes towards the ceiling as you point that foot out towards the far wall. Push that foot out there. Push that foot. Straighten that leg as best you can. Get it straight out there if you can do that. Straight out. Push it out. Push it out. All right. One more on this side. And last time on this side. Good. Stomp a little bit for me. That feels good. Next, we're going to do ankle flexibility. You're going to put your foot out in front of you, a little bit off the floor. And we're going to point those toes up towards the ceiling. And then point them out across the floor. Do 2 circles, this way 2 times, and then we're going to point your toes up again, point your toes away from you, go the opposite direction with those 2 circles. Let's repeat that. Point your toes up, point them down, 2 circles clockwise. Point them up, point them down, 2 circles counterclockwise. Switch feet, put that one down, put your other foot out there a little off the floor, point those toes up and point them down away from you, 2 circles clockwise. Point them up, point them down, 2 circles counterclockwise. Point those toes up, get them way up there, point them down, 2 circles clockwise. Last time, up, point them down, 2 circles counterclockwise. Good. All right. Now we're going to scoot forward again. Scoot a little forward on your chair there. This is spinal flexion or torso twist. So we're going to put both of our hands on one hip. See how I'm already started to turn my shoulders that direction? Now I'm going to turn my head as far as I can and look at that shoulder, back over my shoulder. My other shoulder's going forward. Oh, and I'm twisting. And relax and come back to the center. Same thing on the other side. Put both of those hands on the opposite hip. Turn those shoulders, turn those shoulders. Good torso twist. Relax and come back to the center. All right. Great. Next, we're going to do some finger flexing, if you're ready for that. I'll put our hands up here. So we're going to form the letter C, and then open your hands. Form the letter C, and then open your hands. Form the letter C, and open, C, and open, C, and open. One more time, C, and open. Wiggle those fingers, and relax your hands. Next, our next finger exercise, we're going to take our hand from a handshake, so it's closed hand like this, laying on our lap. Lean a little bit forward. Your thumbs are pointing towards the ceiling. And you're going to roll your fingers up to a soft fist, and then straighten them back out. Roll them up to a soft fist, and then straighten them back out. Roll them up, make them straight. Roll them up. Back out to that handshake position. Roll them up. Out the handshake. Up to soft fist. Out the handshake. 2 more times. Roll them up. Straighten them out. Last one. Roll them up. And straighten them back out. Great. Wiggle those fingers. And relax. All right. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's a good day to exercise. Our next finger exercise is a knuckle tuck. It starts with our hands right up here. And we're going to bring our first couple knuckles down in tight. And then straighten those fingers back up. This is a tough one. Knuckle tuck, and then straighten them back out. Not everyone can do this real well. Knuckle tuck, straighten them back out. Knuckle tuck, straighten them back out. Knuckle tuck, straighten them back out. Let's do it one more time. Knuckle tuck, straight fingers, wave and wiggle, and relax. Okay, this next finger exercise is one of my favorites. If you've ever been in one of my groups, we usually do it. This is finger dexterity. We're going to touch each one of our fingers to our thumb, like that. And I'm going to call off each one of those fingers. I might get a little faster as we go, so keep up as best you can. We're going to start with our hands up here again. And we're going to touch our index fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, pinkies. Index, middle, ring, pinky. Index, middle, ring, pinky. Keep going. Index, middle, ring, pinky. 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 Woo! How'd you do? Did you keep up? Of course, the point is to keep your fingers moving, whether you can keep up with that or not. The speed's just a little bit of fun. That water I mentioned, take a sip. Next, we're going to stretch our legs behind us. How can we do that seated? Follow me. We're going to turn sideways in the chair. I'm going to scoot a little bit forward on the chair. So my one foot is a little bit in front of the chair. Now I'm going to move my knee towards the floor and my foot behind me. See how that works? Notice I'm holding on to the chair here. So do that. Be very careful with this one. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. This might feel like a really good stretch through here. If you don't feel it, you want it to be a little bit more difficult, push your foot back a little bit farther and then sit up nice and tall. Depends on your ability. If you can't do this easily, then don't do it. Stick with this version right here. All right, bring that foot back up beside you. Everything we do on one side, we got to do it on the other side. So let's turn 180 degrees. There's your math problem for the day. Scoot forward a little bit. 180 degrees is to turn around. All right. Put that knee towards the floor. The foot's back behind you. And sit up nice and tall, holding onto the chair for safety. To be a little bit more difficult, slide that foot back behind you. All right, we can also take that hand, same side as your leg is back, and take that hand up in front of you, like you're pointing up to the ceiling. That's a way to make that stretch a little bit bigger as well. All right, bring that foot back up. Now let's just turn 90 degrees, 1/4 turn back to where we were. All right, next let's scoot up on our chair a little bit. Your feet are about a foot's width apart, hips width apart there. Now we're going to move our feet apart from each other by lifting our toes, move them apart, put them down, lift your heels, move them apart, put them down, lift your toes, lift your heels, and they're wide apart. If your knees aren't quite as wide as your feet are, see if you can move them out a little bit. Let me show you how this looks here. My feet are in front of me. And I lifted my toes out, heels out, toes out, heels out, toes out, heels out. Now my knees are here, but my ankles are out here. I'd like to line them up if I can. If I can't get my knees out to line them up over my ankles, I'm going to move my ankles in a little bit so that I can sit in that proper position for this next movement. All right? So we're sitting in that movement. Your legs are wide apart. Knees are over top of your ankles. Rest your hands on your knees. And we're going to lean forward. Not bend over, but lean forward. It's called a hip hinge right from here. Keep your back nice and straight, like you're leaning over to whisper something to someone. Tell them the secret. You got the latest gossip and you've got to tell them. and then sit back and see what they think of it. You think that's something? Well, let me tell you something else. Lean forward. Keep that back nice and straight, and then sit back up. All right. No, you're not a gossip. I know. Let's put your feet back together. Toes together, heels together, toes together, heels together, toes together, heels together, till they're right beside each other. Let's do that fancy feet one more time. We're going to take them out, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, and back in. Toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels. All right. Scoot back a little bit on that chair. Now we're going to reach in 8 different directions. All right. We're going to start with our hands right here. Just follow along. We're going to go through it 4 times. First, we're going to reach up at this 45-degree angle that way, and then the upper angle on that side. And then we're going to reach down to the floor on this side, and then reach down to the floor on that side. Then we're going to stop traffic over here. We're going to stop traffic over there. And we're going to point to the ceiling with this hand, and then we're going to point to the ceiling with the other hand. Now let's run through that again. Remember, we're going this way first, and then we're going this way second. Number 3 is over here, down. Number 4 is down over here. Number 5, we're stopping traffic. Number 6, there's more traffic. Number 7, pointing to the sky. And number 8, again. Let's keep going. We'll go a little bit faster. Here, reach up there. Reach down over here. Reach down over there. Stop traffic this way. Stop traffic that way. Point up and point up. Last time. Up this way. Up that way. Down over here. Down over there. Out this way. Traffic that way. Up overhead. We'll finish it up. All right. Great job. Roll those shoulders around a little bit. That was good. Good shoulder work. Take another sip of water if you'd like. I need one. We're going to scoot up on our chair a little bit. And this is a rocking stand sit. We're going to try and stand up and sit. You're not getting up off the chair. We're just doing this, rocking forward and then rocking back. Rocking forward and then rocking back. Rocking forward and rocking back. Rocking forward and rocking back. Like you're about to get up. That's that prep movement. All right. So now, sit up nice and tall. Bring your feet a little closer together, back underneath you. And we're going to do the same thing. Rock forward. You're just pushing your heels just a little bit into the floor. Rock forward like you're about to stand up. Can you see that clearly? Rock forward and push. Well, I went up there a little bit. Up. Okay. A couple more times. Push. All right. And again, push. All right. One last time. Push. All right. Good. We'll be standing up in no time. Next, we're going to do airplane wing dips. So pretend you're an airplane, and an airplane has wings. And then we're going to dip those wings. So we're going to airplane wing dip this direction. And one goes down and the other one goes up. Oh, back to level. Let's wing dip the other direction. Down over here. Oh, back to level. Wing dip this way. And wing dip that way. Dip your wings here. Dip your wings there. Dip this way and dip that way. If you're ever on an airplane that goes like this, it'll make you seasick, won't it? Wing dip this direction last time. Wing dip that direction last time. And relax. All right. Good. Next, we're going to do a seated balance. Scoot forward on your chair. Way forward on your chair. And we're going to take one foot and come up on our toe, lean forward a little bit, and lift that other foot off the floor. So we're seated, we're touching one foot on the floor, our other foot is off the floor. Put your hands out to the side, feel that balance. Yeah, good. Keep yourself as still as you can there. Keep that leg off the floor. Okay, put that foot down, relax your arms. All right, good. Now we're going to do the opposite side, same thing. This foot stays firm on the floor, comes up onto the toe, lean forward just a bit with the arms out, and then the other foot lift it up off the floor to balance, just like that. Good, put that foot down, relax your hands. All right. Scoot back on your chair. Next, we're going to do shoulder curls, shoulder rolls. Put your arms out to the side, and we're going to do 2 small, and then we're going to do 2 medium-sized circles, rowing backwards. Then we're going to do 2 big as you can circles, and then back to 2 medium circles, and back to 2 small circles, and then relax. Good. Now let's scoot forward on the chair again. Now for anyone who is able, we're going to do the rocking stand sit one more time. And we're going to rock way back like this. And then we're going to come forward just to there. And then sit back down, if you can do it. If you can't do it, just stay seated and rock forward just like we did before. And we'll just repeat that exercise that you did before. But if you can do it, let's rock back and then move forward up off the chair there and then sit back down. See how easy that is? Yeah, I say it's easy. It isn't every day, is it? Not every day. Let's do that again. Let's lean forward, up, and sit back down. Let's lean back, lean forward, up, and sit back down. We're going to do that 3 more times. All right, lean back, lean forward, up if you can, and back down. Lean back, lean forward, up, and sit back down. Last one, let's lean back, lean forward if you can get up. If not, just lean there and then sit back. Good. Scoot back in your chair. We're going to do the opposite arm circles, shoulder circles. We did backwards last time. This time we're going to go forward. We're going to do the same thing as last. 2 small circles, and then 2 medium-sized circles, and then 2 big as you can circles, biggest rotation you can get, and then back to 2 medium circles, and then back to 2 small circles, and then relax. Good. Next, we're going to move our feet out, out, in. Seems pretty simple. We'll scoot up just a little bit. And we're going to move this foot out, the other foot out, and then move this foot in and this one in. Your first foot out, second foot out, first foot in, second foot in. All right? Out, out, in, out, out, in. There we go. We're just going to do this. Out, out, in, out, in. Almost like walking or marching. That's the movement. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Far apart, close together. Far apart, close together. Here, out and in. Out, out, 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 in. 3, 2, last one, all the way through. Good. Excellent. Scoot back in your chair. Now we're going to do some upper arm work. This is good for strength. We've got biceps, 2 muscles here, and triceps, 3 muscles back here. And we're going to work those in 2 different exercises, all right? So if you've got a dumbbell, or if you use a dumbbell, you can use them for this. I'm using my invisible dumbbells today. I just got them. Do you like them? Okay. We'll put our hands down to the side. Turn your hands, fingers forward. And then we're just going to lift up at the elbow and then back down. Bring your hands up. You can do an open-handed as well, and down. Bring your arms up and down. That's 3. We're going to do it 15 times. Back down. There's 5. We're a third of the way already. 6, 7, 8. If you use the fist, it makes it tighten even more at the top here. There's 10. 11. 12. Keep sitting up straight. 13. I was telling me and you. 15. All right. How about that? That's pretty good. We're going to do another bicep exercise here. We're going to put our hands out to the side, not straight out to the side, but down a little bit. And we're going to bring our hand in and touch right here, right on the upper part of our middle rib cage. I can't remember what that's called. Sternum, maybe. Okay. And then hand back out. And then the other side, bring it in and back out. In here and out. Bend the arm, straighten the arm. Bend the arm, straighten the arm. And as we do this, you start to realize that the bicep is moving, but the shoulders, goodness, that's tough holding your arms up like that, isn't it? 3, 2, last one, and relax. Good. Roll those shoulders around. Okay, we're going to scoot forward a little bit. I'm going to bring my knees back under me a little bit, and I'm going to lean forward. Remember, I'm not going to bend over like we did before. Same rules as before. We're not going to bend over and bend our back. We're going to keep our back straight and lean forward like this. Keep your abs tight here. Yep. Now I'm going to put my hands out in front of me like this. And I'm going to pull my hands with my invisible dumbbells in my hands up towards my shoulder. Here, and then the opposite one. Here, and then there. Here, there. Here, there. Here, there. Put a ring on it. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Punch here, punch there. Punch here, punch there. Good. Keep going. You're doing great. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All right. Whew, that's good. We are doing okay. Next, we're going to do some tricep kickbacks. That's for the triceps. That's those 3 muscles on the back side of the arm. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to lean forward. Move forward. Move forward on your chair. You're going to take this empty hand. We're going to have our invisible dumbbell in this hand. Our fist is over here. This empty hand, we're going to brace ourselves across our lap. See, that makes me lean forward. Now I've got myself braced. I'm safe in my chair. I'm not going to fall forward and fall out of it. So I'm going to bend my elbow and bring this weight up here by my shoulder. Then I'm going to cock my elbow up behind me like that. And then straighten my arm out behind. Bring it back up to my shoulder. And then get that weight out behind. Bring it back up. Kick it out behind you. Bring it up beside you. Kick it out behind you. Bring it up beside, out behind. Here's number 7. Number 8. Number 9. We're going to 15 with this too. 10. 11. I think I gave you a couple extra bonus ones there. 3 more. 13. 14. And 15. Sit up and relax. Okay, switch that invisible dumbbell to your other hand. Put it down to your side. Now with this empty hand, same thing. Brace yourself in the opposite direction. Lean forward a little bit. This dumbbell comes up by your hand, by your shoulder. Cock that elbow up behind you. And straighten that arm out. And bend it up beside you. Straighten it back, way back there. Bring it up by your shoulder. Kick it back behind you. Bring it up here. Kick it back there. Bend it up and back. Bring it up and back. And up and back. And up and back. Here, there, up and back. Is anybody counting to 15? Uh-oh. 3, 2, last one. All right, sit up and relax. All right, where's that water bottle? Get another sip of water. Okay, next is an overhead press. We're going to press our hands way up over our head. I'm sitting back on the chair. My hands are down here beside me. Got those invisible dumbbells in my hands again. And first I'm doing a bicep curl up to here. And then I'm doing an overhead press, up as high as you can. And then bring it back down, all the way down. Bring it back up here, and then push it up there. And then bring it back down, all the way down. Bicep curl, overhead press. Bring it back down, all the way down. Here we go, up again. Up, bring it down. Push it up there. Keep that core tight. Keep your whole core tight as we're going up and down. Push it up, bring it back down. Push it up there. Bring it back down. We got one more to do, just one more. Push it all the way up there. Push, and bring it back down, and all the way down. All right, you drop those weights there. We've got just a few more exercises. Okay. Everyone doing all right? Good, good, good. Let's repeat those finger exercises that we did earlier and see how much better we can do now. See if now that we're warmed up. We're going to start with our hands up here. And we're going to make the letter C and then open your hands. Wide, fingers wide apart. Form the letter C. Make those fingers wide apart. Form the letter C. Fingers wide apart. Letter C. Fingers wide apart. Wave and wiggle. All right, this next one, your hands are on your lap. Turn your hands so your thumbs are on top. Lean forward a little bit. Now from that handshake position, we're going to roll those fingers up to a soft fist and then back out to that handshake. Up to soft fist, out to handshake. Up to a soft fist, back out to a handshake. That soft fist just means you're not squeezing tight. You're just rolling your fingers up like you're going to make a fist, but you're not making it tight like you're going to hit someone. We don't need to do that today. Roll them up, back out to handshake. All right, wiggle those fingers. All right, knuckle tuck. We're going to do 5 of these. Put your hands up here again. Bring those fingers down in tight and then back out. Bring those fingers down in tight and back out. Just those first 2 knuckles. Down in tight and back out 2 more times. Knuckle tuck and out. All done. Wiggle those fingers for me. Okay. Then our last finger exercise that we're going to repeat is that finger dexterity. So let's do it and see how we can keep up this time. We'll start with our hands right up here. Let me take a sip of water. a sip of water and a deep breath, and we'll see just how far we can go with this. All right. Your hands start right up here. And we're going to go index, middle, ring, pinky. 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 Whew, ran out of air there. How'd you do that time? Did you do better? Good. Okay, now we're going to hop in the boat. We're going to row the boat across the lake. Just go with me. We're going to hop in the boat. We're going to put our feet out in front of us. If you've ever rowed a boat before, you know that the oars are out there in the water alongside, and you've got your hands up here. And what we've got to do is we've got to push out low, bring your arms up, and pull in high. And that's what we're going to do. Push out low, arms up, and pull in high. Push out low, 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 and pull in high. 3 more times. Push out low, and pull in high. Push out low, and pull in high. Last one. Push out low, and pull in high. Excellent. And relax. Great. Nice job. Let's pick up those invisible dumbbells again, one in each hand. And we're going to do, as fast as possible, some bicep curls. We're going to do 50. All righty? Ready. Here we go. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Alternate back and forth. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10. 18, 19. There's 20. 28, 29. There's 30. 40. 48, 49, and 50. All right, put those down. We are done with those. Okay. Next, we're going to sit up nice and tall in your chair. We're going to do neck exercises. Neck exercises are really good to do for neck movement and neck flexibility. But we always have to remember, when you do neck exercises, we do them very slow and very deliberately. We want to make sure that we don't do any quick movements. You know what, you can hurt yourself pretty easily if you move your head too quickly or jerk it too far too quick. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to turn and look to the side. Turn your head as far as you comfortably can over top of your shoulder there. If you want it to go a little further and you feel like you can, it's okay to use your hand on the side you're turning away from. Just give it a little bit of a push. Not anything too hard. Nice and easy. Nice, easy, gentle, and deliberate. And then turn your head back to the center. All right, now let's go the other way. Turn your head opposite direction. Look away from all the cameras. Same thing, we can use that hand, the opposite hand where you're turning away from. Just give it a little boost if you can, if you need to. Should feel like a nice stretch. It shouldn't feel like you're hurting yourself. Release your hand and bring your head right back to the center. Now we're going to look up and down. Look up. It's your best pain-free range of motion. And then back to the center. And then we'll look down. Relax your shoulders. Okay. Good. Now, can you touch this ear to your shoulder? Nope, I can't either. How about the other side? Can you touch this ear to your shoulder? Nope, can't do it on that side either. Okay. Now we're going to do some breathing to finish this up for our exercise class today. This has been exercises in the chair with Jan Cline Fitness. You can see right there. I do work with people individually at home. We do small groups like this online or in person. Of course, we're following all the health regulations that we need to keep everybody safe. And that's why we're doing it virtually today. So our breathing exercise to finish this up here, we're going to scoot forward, sit up nice and tall, and close your eyes. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in and 3 big exhales. So first, deep breath in and exhale. Once again, big breath in and exhale. Last time, take a real deep breath in and exhale. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday, and we'll do another exercise in the chair. Thanks. Have a great day.